All right, so I got to take second delivery of the car, meaning I took delivery in Porsche Wilmington in North Carolina. And just to remind you, the reason why I had to get the car in North Carolina is you don't just get allocations for GT cars, especially when the GT4 was first announced. And so I had to go where the car was available, and I had such a great experience. So if you haven't seen those videos, go check it out. And so normally what I do when I take delivery of a car is I have it dropped off right at my garage, and then I do all of my detailing stuff. Well, I couldn't help myself this time. I haven't driven a GT4 yet, at least the 718. I haven't driven one. And so I took the car off the truck, drove it home, which would have been technically the first drive. And then I took a really aggressive rip around the block with the camera, which would have been, I guess, the second drive. And of course, I didn't plug the microphone in. So what you're going to see is the third drive, we'll call it. It's really the first drive. There's a little bonus footage in there you have to watch to see what that is. Yeah, the car is fantastic. So let's go do a rip around the block. You can put in the comments of how stupid I am about not following the manual's braking procedure, but this is how I just drive a car. I don't worry about braking and all that stuff. So hope you enjoy it. Next up will be the detailing after this. All right, got it. Car's here. This is the new parking lot. I'm delivering at my house. All these dumb cars coming through here. Normally when I'm in here, there's not a single car anywhere. See, the great thing about these, they're carriers, is they never have to do anything special. Nice and flat. A clean car isn't going to be clean anymore. Dirty as crap. Oh yeah, look at that. That's awesome. See, I cleaned it up pretty good at the dealership. Got some bead maker on it. Good to go. No axle lift on this car. Look at that. Plenty of room. Sweet. Alright, we got it. 13 miles. Driving home. First delivery, or first drive in the GT4. I'm glad I've been doing a lot of driving therapy. But yeah, we'll go on our first drive here later this afternoon when the rain stops. Alrighty, let's go set up the GoPros. Now, figures, it's beautiful now that I've gotten the car super dirty. Dad took it for a drive. Put the plate right there. I accidentally threw the screws away that come in the bag or box or whatever it is for the front plate. Well, the rear plate screws are in there too. So, oh well. So I'm gonna pull it out back and let's GoPro it up and go for a first drive. All right, getting all of my settings done. So just to kind of cue you in on how I set up the car, there really isn't much to do here. Change the display so that the vehicle menu shows oil temp, oil pressure, coolant temp, and then the lower line is time and temp, temperature outside, and then that's the little spot down here. Menu scope, we'll put phone on here as well, so you can turn off some of this stuff. G-force, chrono, TPMS, trip. I never use the GPS part, so we'll turn the trip part off. And actually I do use that sometimes, so we'll leave all that on. Chrono, PCM display, brightness, 80% default is fine. And then I set up the lighting and visibility, so the exterior lights stay on for 60 seconds. Interior lights, I'll play with this at night, gonna see what settings I like. And then the locking, I don't want my doors locking automatically, so I unlock all doors when I press the button, so both sides are locked, or unlocked, or lock, you know, when I do it. And then door lock, I don't want any automatic locking. I leave the car unlocked most of the time in the driveway. And then the radio, Set up linear Bluetooth, turn off autopilot and surround. I don't like that. I don't like any impeding if I can. I believe linear means that it's just flat, but I was kind of playing back and forth. I like linear a little better. I always bring the balance. I can just sit here and listen to imaging. So just sit here and listen for what it sounds like up on the dash, and then so the fader is 0, and then balance just 1 to the right, which makes a pretty significant difference. Treble is at +2, bass is flat. And that's really the only settings that I need to set up in the car. I don't do Sirius XM because it sounds like garbage, and so I don't have a subscription to that, so I won't mess with that. And then I'll just go tune like the local radio stations, I guess. And that's all I need to do. So I'm going to set up the GoPros and go for the first drive. All right, let's try this again. I want to do the darn first drive, and I just did it, and I didn't plug the microphone in like an idiot. So we're going to do the first drive again, which is technically the third drive. And Michele just took it for a drive. So the car's getting a little bit of a workout here. We got 59 miles on it. Still trying to get my TPMS sensor to give me a reading. But anyway, car's nice and warm. We're going to go around the block for a little spinaroo and tell you my first third impressions. So anyway, it's been raining. I've been waiting for it to quit raining, and it keeps raining, so I brought the GoPro inside the car, and we'll see how it works. But it's such a great experience, man. Having a manual mid-engine Porsche in my life, it's just too freaking awesome. And it's been super rainy all day. Figures. The day I get in my new car, rains like crazy all day long. Rained when I picked it up, rained when I did the first drive, rained when I did the second drive, raining now on the third drive. And now we're gonna get some grandpas. Anyway, this whole experience of speccing the car from scratch and then waiting for it and then going and taking delivery of it, and the whole thing has just been incredible. So I want to turn that part off, the defroster. The experience of having a mid-engine manual Porsche. I love the auto blip option, even though I can turn it off and I can rev match myself, no problem. The biggest issue I have is doing heel toe. So when I'm coming into a corner, I'm not so good at it. But the sound, I was afraid I wasn't gonna like the sound of this version of the car. But oh man, it's so good. It's so freaking good. Even just stock. And so I'll likely end up doing, I talked to Jamie from Dundon, and they're working on an exhaust. They have a development car there, so they're working on that. But they're, I would guess, at least 6 months out. And then I'll probably just do the Soul Performance exhaust for now, and then switch over to Dundon later if it's remarkably better. But I'm gonna call them on Monday and see if they want to work together or do a project on it. But I'd like to do both of their versions. They have the over axle pipe, and then they have a full resonated race version of the exhaust. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like auto blips, so I'll probably leave it on most of the time. But anyway, I'd like to kind of hear. I'm sure the full race version. My guess is it drones pretty drastically, and this thing inside the car sounds incredible. The induction noise of this engine, this Carrera S variant, is much more dramatic than the GT3 is. In many ways, I like the way this better. I like the way this sounds better than my GT3. And that's the big question with this thing is having this car redundant because the interior, the steering wheel is the same, the radio controls and all that's the same. So it's the, you know, basically the same experience, but for those that know, you know, obviously a manual transmission, but mid-engine versus rear engine, how remarkably different is that in owning both of them, driving them often back to back in the same day, or, you know, day to day, let's say, how redundant is it? And I'm going to find out. Right now, you know, I thought there was a high probability I'd get this car, and I'd say, you know, it's cool, but let's own it for 6 months or 9 months or a year, and then let's go and you know, do a giveaway or something. But I don't think that's going to happen. I know this is day one, hour one, but I think this puppy's going to hang around for quite some time. Just listen to that. It's so good. So I'm not going to be doing PPF in this, depending on where you're watching this in the series. You know, my intention is again to release all of these videos kind of as like a Netflix style special on YouTube. So anyway, I'm not doing PPF. I'm just gonna polish, coat it, and then just enjoy it. The reason why I did PPF on the GT4 RS, I take that to the mountains pretty often. My guess is I'll probably end up taking this one too, but I'll just tape it up. I don't want to cover up this amazing blue. You know, it's one of those things, like, do you want 2 rock chips over the next couple of years, or would I rather look at plastic film forever? So if I can help it, I'd rather avoid the PPF altogether. So I'm not doing it on this car, and we'll just roll the dice. So I gotta get the radar detector done. I ordered a bunch of stuff. I ordered the GT4 car cover. I ordered you know, some oil change stuff, and what else did I order last night? The bonnet plastic cover thingy, the thing that covers the holes, that, you know, puts a plastic protector on there in case you don't smash your groceries or whatever on the front hood. Bounce off the rev limiter. 50 miles in. Let's go. I don't do break-ins, as you can tell. I don't do aggressive break-ins. I don't do manual driven braking. I just drive the car like I normally would. You know, never had an issue. I used to obsess over how I'm going to break it in, following the manual or the manufacturer's suggestion to a T. I really think that they put those in for Porsche anyway. It's just to cover your butt, but I don't. My guess is that any Porsche engineer that owns a Porsche just drives it right off the lot and does whatever, drives it like normal. But I'm not I got to seat the piston rings guy and drive the crap out of it. I think the one thing that I think makes a lot of sense is, I don't think you want to get on the highway and drive it at 70 miles an hour for 10 straight hours. I think you want to do what I'm doing here, vary the RPMs and just drive it around. And so, you know, when I got the car, it had 13 miles on it. In fact, the tech, you know, what they do is they said, well, you know, most Porsche techs, they actually do a quick, you know, a couple of red line pulls just to make sure everything's good to go. Just in love with the induction sound. That intake sucking the air in. Oh, it's so good, and it's right there in my ear. you know, it's only a few inches further forward, maybe a foot further forward than the GT3 or the, you know, rear engine over the rear axle, but it's still, it feels quite a bit different. Of course, the way this car rotates is very different as well. The way it weight transfers is just superior. You know, and I've done a lot of driving with friends in GT4s. I've driven quite a few GT4s, the previous generation, not this one. Today is my first day driving this 718. But, you know, these are rated, it was a rated 415 horsepower. I would say this is a whole lot more than that. You know, my M3 would get destroyed by this thing, and the M3 is rated at, you know, what is it, 414? Similar weights, and this might be a little bit lighter. What's the M3, 3,400 pounds? This is what, 32, 3,300 pounds, something like that? But this would, if we did a straight line race, this would own it. It would be a lamb-basting. Man, it's so good. Just turn it around right here. Yeah, I'm glad I put the GoPro in the car. And I did such a great run earlier today, and then I messed it up. Oh, shoot. By not plugging in the darn microphone. Now we're going to drive on some pickup trucks at 10 miles an hour. We'll just sit here for a minute. It's just so easy to drive. I mean, literally from the millisecond I jumped in the car, you can smoothly shift. You know, I've driven quite a few manuals in my life, but, you know, it's just so easy to manage. I didn't have to like figure out the clutch engagement point or anything like that. Like on my Civic, it took me a minute or so to figure out how to, you know, where to shift the darn thing. This one's just so intuitive, so clean, so well done. You know, the shift linkage, or the, you know, the way it feels, it's okay. This big shift ball thinger is okay as well. I don't know that I'll change it, but you know, it's certainly not as mechanical feeling as a Honda. Not as good as the GT350, you know, that I owned in the past. But it's good. Semi-mechanical. It's not like my wet noodle BMW, that's for sure. But yeah, the difference in this. So anyway, I was saying, when I'm driving with all my GT4 buddies, the GT3, you would think, you know, the GT3 is rated with 525 horsepower. There's 100 horsepower rated more, but I never felt like I was pulling away from GT4s, or that they were, you know, that I was on them or gonna blow by them. So I just think these are pretty underrated horsepower wise. The carbon ceramics are pretty darn squeaky when they're new. The key is you just gotta blow them out with the pressure washer, and then eventually they'll kind of lighten up on the squeak. Just listen to that. It's freaking awesome. Let's wait till we get a loud exhaust on this thing. It almost makes you want to just leave it alone. You know I won't do that. Yeah, so we'll start detailing tomorrow morning. I'll decon the thing and polish it. Coat it. I'll have this thing back on the street by Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, doesn't inspire you to want to power shift it or do anything stupid. Just shift nice and smooth. Nice and easy, you know, just drive. Even when you're driving aggressively, just shift it as quickly as you feel necessary, but it's just so good. What a dream, man. What a dream. Can't wait to do some back-to-back stuff. Back-to-back GT4, GT3 videos. Talk about, you know, the differences as I have more seat time. You know, I tend to be a nuanced guy. I tend to be, as you might imagine, I tend to micromanage things, and so I'm sure many have given their take on the differences between the cars, but maybe I'll add something unique or of value to those that are considering. You know, generally this car is a gateway car to a GT3. But, you know, I've known many GT3 owners that have gotten rid of their GT3 and gotten a GT4, and I think most of them end up back. See what she's got. The gearing to me is not an issue at all. Not even a thought. I think, you know, everybody asks me that question, well, you're going to change the gearing. I said, well, no, it's freaking great. Porsche made it this way. And I'm all for modifying and fixing and improving things. But, you know, a couple of, like Matt Farah talked about it. Some other auto journalists talked about it on the 981 GT4. And Sharkworks has a, you know, aftermarket gear set that's really expensive. But I like the taller gears. I like riding around in third gear. I don't see an issue at all. I mean, there's what, 4,800 RPMs, third gear, going 64 miles an hour. I don't mind being in second and third gear and having it nice and long, tall, especially on a 6-speed. Gosh, this thing just inspires you to drive around like a hooligan, but a civilized hooligan. Come on, pickup, bro. Let's go. He's definitely not going to let me go. So anyway, just some preliminary thoughts on my third drive. I'm so sad. The first drive was just from where the reliable carriers dropped the truck off, or dropped the car off, you know, in a parking lot to my house, like a couple of miles, and then I went out and did the same route I'm doing right now, and it was dry, so I was ripping the car, and then maybe we'll grab some clips from that. And then I didn't plug in. I have an extension for the microphone. This is a Edgetees ETM-008, I think, and just messed it up. Forgot. Oh, come on! I thought it was turning. Dear Lord. The only bad thing is I got Dunlops instead of Cup 2s, but that's no biggie. I might get aftermarket wheels on this car. The offsets aren't as good on this. Maybe we'll do some spacers. I don't know. Why would I mess with the handling? The thing's so good. It's not nearly as sunk as, like, you know, an M3 would be or something like that, but I've always had great success with spacers, but it seems like blasphemy to do a spacer on a GT4. All smiles here, people. All smiles. Nothing but awesome. So radar detector, exhaust, lower it on the factory coilovers, realign it, maybe some wheels, cup twos, obviously detail it. I don't really foresee myself doing a whole heck of a lot more. Nice. One left, one right. Gotta get a radar detector in this thing fast. I haven't even been in 5th gear yet. 5th, 6th. We'll just stay in 2nd and 3rd all the time. How's that sound? I don't know what my MPGs are. 13.9. No gas guzzler on this car. No gas guzzler tax. Man, when I did the video earlier, I darn near got her sideways on a turn, that real sharp 90 way back back on the road that runs parallel to this one. What's so great about these, the stability control on these cars lets you play a bit before it interferes. So I never find the need to turn it off. But this does have auto stop start, which we turn off, of course. So that's our first drive, our first 3rd drive. So yeah, I put 75 miles. We put 63 miles on it, 62 miles on it here today. In the last couple of hours. Dad drove it, Michele drove it. I've driven it 3 times. It's fun, really fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this series has been entertaining for you or useful to you if you're a future GT4 owner. I know that, I wish there were more videos of 718 GT4s that I could be watching while I was anticipating and waiting for this thing to show up, but can't racetrack it because the kids and dog are home, so we'll do some driveway racetracking here soon. Always courtesy rev. All right, Shelly, jump it in there. Let's go. So I just did the first drive, but forgot to plug the microphone in. So jump in. Shelly's gonna go for her first drive. So we gotta get her set up. All right. Remember, this is a manual. So take that thing, clip it on your seatbelt, put your seatbelt on.
A lot of directions here.
All right, clutch in. Need to put the seat up a little bit?
No, are you just holding that one? I don't need that, right?
No.
I'm nervous. I'm trying to get myself pumped up.
Clutch in. Sure you don't need to move the seat up?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Clutch
Maybe.
in. It's not a power seat.
Oh, here we go.
Turn it. Turn it. Okay. Now hit auto blip in the center.
Ah, there's so many things.
Hit auto blip. The one that says auto blip.
I'm looking for it. I'm trying to read
What do
it.
you mean you're looking for it?
What do you mean?
Right here. Hit the exhaust one on the right.
Oh my gosh.
Hit the A below that. And you're good to go.
Okay, I need you to go away. Far
All right,
away.
talk to the camera.
Oh my gosh. This is stressful. We'll chat in a minute when I get away from him. Okay.
First gear, that's reverse.
Oh Lord Jesus, please don't let a rock chip jump out and get me. Oh.
Oh boy. Poor GT4 is getting a workout today. I'm gonna go drive it again.
Crap, I do need to move this seat up. What the heck are these little rolly things? Oh geez, oh Pete. So, I don't know how to move the seat up. Let's check it out first. What the heck is going on here? I don't know. Well, I'll just drive it like it is. Matt's probably freaking out that I'm doing something wrong because he doesn't hear it take off. Oh boy. Hope I'm allowed to do that. So, I don't normally drive Matt's cars because I'm scared to death like a rock chip is gonna, you know, something's gonna happen. A bird's gonna fly in front of my car, something bad, and now I have to find out. I'll use stupid windshield wipers. So he really wanted me to try driving this, and I said no. But it was worth it because he has to now make the grocery list and go grocery shopping just so I'll drive his car, and I hate grocery shopping, so I'm like, yes. Okay, windshield wipers. Oh boy. Okay, I just need a minute. Okay. Wonder how fast I should go. Last time I drove his car, the first day he got it, I got a ticket. We got the M5. So let's see what happens. But no judging because I'm not a good driver. I don't even know when to shift. I'm just kind of guessing. And the seat's way too far back, but oh well. My problem with all of these cars is just I don't know the difference between them all, so I don't have a lot of commentary to say. It feels pretty stinking awesome, but I don't know. I couldn't like compare it to something else. I don't know. Compared to that. Oh, that was a little bit of roadkill. Sorry, Maddie. I feel like I should maybe shift again. Sorry, I don't know. Whoopsie. Alright, this is when I'm supposed to like go for it. Oh boy. Oh boy, minivan. Woohoo. Yeah, I'm probably getting a ticket. This is awesome. I love it. And that's about the extent of my commentary. It's awesome. I love it. That's it. I'm going to do a quick little... Oh no, we'll go around this cool curve and then we'll be done. I know he goes back here a lot. Oh boy, there's a motorcycle. I'm laughing because his car has like one little red thing of gas left. So it's below a quarter of a tank, which he would never normally let that happen. So that's funny to me already. Whoa, yeah. Holy crap. Okay. Whew. Can't believe he's trusting me. I made a joke like, are you going to let me drive your car today? Like totally kidding. And then he's like, yeah, let's go. Well, I didn't really mean it. I kind of meant it. But here I am. Okay. I have no idea if I'm shifting too early, too late, or right on time, but oh well. Hopefully I didn't do that much damage. Considering this car is like the cost of a house. I don't know how to downshift. I mean, I kind of know. Chelsea's gonna teach me. But I don't want to try it. So one day he gets a new car and it rains all day. Let's shift down. Maybe that was a bad idea. Oh well. But it's super fun to drive. This thing's awesome. And again, I might be doing it all wrong, but I feel pretty comfortable. And I think I barely touch the gas and this thing flies. So that's pretty awesome. I know he'll love that. Am I riding in the mountains with him? Heck no. Maybe I'll try it again one day. I learned that the hard way if you've seen the video. Still embarrassed about what a baby I was, but that's okay. right, so we're back. Sorry, I didn't really have much interesting to say. I'm just so pumped he's going grocery shopping for me. It's awesome. I didn't want to drive it, but that was really fun. Really fun. Surprised he let me drive it after I ran the Raptor into a pole a few weeks ago. What an idiot. All right, Lord Jesus, help me get in here without doing anything stupid. Okay, there we go. Nice and easy, Shelly. It's not like I can't drive a car without being nervous, but something about Matt Mormon's cars, you just get nervous driving them. If I put this in, oh boy. Don't start rolling. I did it.
So as you can see, I dig the car. I think it's fantastic. So I ended up putting 100 miles on the first day, and now it's on to detailing the thing. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but this car will be the one I drive around town, so I won't likely be on the track. I won't likely be riding bumper to bumper with people. I won't be highway cruising in this thing, and so the paint, the color of this paint, I don't want to put a wrapper over it. I don't want to have to see paint protection film if I can help it. And so I know it doesn't make sense to a lot of you, but to me, I want to see this corrected, protected with some with a coating, and that's it. I don't want any extra plastic all over the car, since this I'm going to be able to control my environment to some extent. I'd rather have 2 rock chips or 3 rock chips over the next year or 2 that I own the car than to have to look at plastic for every minute of it. So that's my philosophy. My M3's the same way, my Civic's the same way. The last 10 cars I've had outside of my GT4 RS have been the same way. So I'm going to continue that. So anyway, thanks for watching. The series will continue again next week with the start of the detailing process. Catch you on the next one.